Donald Trump's FBI screwed up again. They brought the wrong person into custody following the mass shooting at Brown University. The FBI turned over surveillance and identified who they claimed was the person of interest in the shooting at Brown. And again, it was the wrong person. Kash Patel keeps on screwing this up over and over again. They had to release the person who was in custody. This is not something that normally happens, but this happens all the time under the incompetent Trump regime. Let's talk about that in a moment, but let me show you what Donald Trump has been posting last night and into the morning. And when I show you these images, I just want you to remember what's transpired over the past 48 hours. You had that mass shooting at Bondi Beach in Australia, where at least 15 people were killed. You had multiple service members in the United States military killed in Syria that was linked to the current Syrian transitional government, the STG, and there's been more ISIS attacks in Syria. You have this mass shooting that took place at Brown University, and the FBI took the wrong person into custody. We saw them do that at Charlie Kirk as well. And this is what Donald Trump is posting, these weird selfies of himself and weird images of himself in the lobby of our beautiful White House. Or this post, get your Trump gold card today at trumpcard.gov, where he's selling away our immigration policy. If you've got $5 million, if you're a Russian oligarch, you can become a citizen of the United States. Weird photos like this of himself. It's very strange. Let's talk about the FBI putting the wrong person into custody again. First, I just want to remind you, hit subscribe and help us get to 6 million subscribers. You may think you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, but just double check. The algorithm may send you these videos and you may just search for us. Just double check that you're subscribed. We're under attack from this Trump regime and we're trying to hit 6 million subscribers before 2026. So just double check. Okay, so this was who the FBI was saying was the person of interest, and they turned this over to the Providence police in Rhode Island and said, go get this guy. I'm not mentioning the guy's name because it's the wrong guy whose life they now destroyed. And here the mayor of Providence, he had to admit they brought in the wrong person because Trump's FBI gave him the wrong freaking person. Watch what the mayor says. Play this clip.
Shortly, we will be releasing the person of interest who had been detained earlier today. And the Attorney General can speak a little bit about the rationale for that. But we want to inform the community that that individual will shortly be released from Providence Police.
And here you'll hear from the police chief in Providence who says the specific one who they brought in was actually picked up by the FBI, and they, the FBI, Kash Patel, followed through with it, and they ended up coming and locating this individual of interest. Kash Patel gave him the wrong person, and now the shooter is at large and has escaped because the Trump regime is so incompetent. Like, y'all realize that they've picked the worst, I don't care what your politics are, they've picked the most incompetent, dumb people who hate the FBI to run this. And again, I'm not trying to say this from a partisan perspective. It's just the case. The head of counterterrorism is a 22-year-old former part-time gardener who interned at the Heritage Foundation, who's never worked in the FBI, and they have this guy leading counterterrorism. Anyway, here's what the police chief said. Play this clip.
Yeah, so it was there was a tip that came in, just like we were taking any other tips, and that one came in specifically identifying a person of interest, which was this individual. And so our detectives got on it, just like they got on others, but this specific one, it was actually picked up by the FBI, and they followed through with it, and they ended up coming and locating this individual of interest. And at that point, we did our thorough investigation, examined, ended up drafting some search warrants, came up with some evidence, but that evidence was examined, and we didn't have enough, obviously, to be able to prosecute anybody, and so that person was released.
And then you have another person over there talk about how over the last 24 hours, the evidence points in a different direction. What? This is not normally how it works. Don't gaslight us. Here, play this clip.
When we're talking about an investigation matter, And what it means here is that certainly there was some degree of evidence that pointed to this individual, but that evidence needed to be corroborated and confirmed. And over the last 24 hours, leading into just very, very recently, that evidence now points in a different direction. So what that means is that this person of interest needs to be and should be released. I think what is really unfortunate that this person's name was leaked to the public. It's hard to put that back in the bottle, okay? So we're going to proceed very carefully here.
And then Kash Patel had posted that we've established a command post to intake, develop, and analyze leads and run them to ground. We activated the FBI's cellular analysis survey team to provide critical geolocation capabilities. Yeah, you got the wrong person. Do you think Donald Trump cares at all? Donald Trump's literal response at a Christmas party yesterday was, things can happen. Trump goes, oopsies. Things can happen. That's your response to a mass shooting? Things can happen? Here, play this clip.
And Brown University, great school. Great, really one of the greatest schools anywhere in the world. Things can happen. So to the 9 injured, get well fast. And to the families of those 2 that are no longer with us, I pay my deepest regards and respects from the United States of America. Thank you very much. It's a very...
But what he really wanted to talk about are not the things that can happen. And by that, he means what? Our military members getting killed in Syria while Donald Trump sprays cologne on the former leader of Al-Qaeda, who's now the president of Syria, or as there's mass shootings taking place in Providence, Rhode Island. No, with Donald Trump, or does he want to talk about what happened in Bondi Beach? 15 Australians were killed the first night of Hanukkah celebration. No, Donald Trump wants to talk about this. We're building an Ark Day triumph. Yeah, like the one commissioned by Napoleon in 1806. As Seth Coulter explains, by the time construction had really begun in earnest, Napoleon suffered a disastrous military defeat and had been forced into exile. Here, play this clip.
Unbelievable in policy. And we have a policy thing that's going to be unbelievable happening. Should I announce it or should I keep it quiet? I put Vince in charge of the triumphal ark. We're building an ark like the Arc de Triomphe. And we're building it by the Arlington Bridge, the Arlington Cemetery, opposite the Lincoln Memorial. You could say Jefferson, Washington, everything, because they're all right there. And it's something that is so special. It will be like the one in Paris, but to be honest with you, it blows it away in every way. And Vince came in one day and his eyes were teeming. I mean, he couldn't believe how beautiful it was. He saw it and he wanted to do that. That's your primary thing. There is nothing that can compete with that. It's the only city in the world that's of great importance that doesn't have a triumphal arch. You know what that is? And this one is going to blow them all away. The one that people know mostly is the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, France. And we're going to top it by, I think, a lot.
This guy. As Laura Rosen says, 3 U.S. personnel killed in Syria, 2 people in the attack at Brown, attack targeting a Hanukkah celebration in Australia, and Trump is focused on lying about losing the election in 2020? What a loser. And here is Donald Trump at that event whining about the election from 2020. Play this clip.
Very good at cheating. They're professionals at cheating because we won in 2016 by a lot. The election was rigged in 2020. We have all the ammunition, all the stuff, and you'll see it come out. It's coming out in truckloads. But then we won again in 2024.
So you see the contrast here. Former President Biden went to a Philadelphia Eagles game yesterday. You see him there. Look at someone with stage 4 cancer. Look at what he looks like. Contrast that to how Donald Trump looks like. And then I think it's important to point out, just over the past week, what's been happening here. AfD top leaders. AfD is the right-wing extremist pro-Putin party that exists in Germany, where Der Spiegel, a great German media company, did a report and showed how these people are literally like viewed by Russia as being completely controlled by Moscow. And you've got people like Marcus Frohnmayer and others meeting with our top State Department officials because I read for you that national security strategy the Trump regime put out 2 weeks ago. It says their goal is destroy the European Union, destroy NATO. And one of the ways they're going to do it is by lifting up far right-wing groups that support Vladimir Putin in the destruction of Europe. So that's what's going on there. Did you see this? I want to leave with these 2 points right here because to me this sums it all up. So Donald Trump gave an interview, an exclusive, with the Wall Street Journal. And this is what he told the Wall Street Journal, that he is not certain his economic policies will translate to midterm wins. In this exclusive interview with the Journal, he says his efforts to secure investments in the U.S. haven't fully taken effect, and I cannot tell you how it's going to equate to the voter. But what he is super focused on is taking the first steps in his possible bid to control DC's public golf courses. There's 3 golf courses in DC, public courses, that he wants to make Trump golf courses. And this is his real big focus right now. So it's arches, golden ballrooms, golf courses, taking selfies of himself. Folks, we have to stand together right now during these uncertain and difficult and bizarre times. And I just want you to know as we approach, right now it's second day of Hanukkah, second night today, Christmas, Kwanzaa, if you don't celebrate anything, regardless, we're in this together, okay? And I've just been hearing from you. I know what you're going through. And I just want to let you know that we're always going to keep fighting for you here when we see all of this. We're going to keep bringing receipts. We're going to keep bringing facts. Every day, we're just going to be methodical. We're in this together, okay? Stay strong. We appreciate you. Hit subscribe. Help us get to 6 million. And thank you for all that you do. Hey, Midas Mighty. It's Ben, Brett, and Jordy, and we just want to thank you for being the backbone of this movement.
This year tested us more than ever, but together we proved that pro-democracy voices don't just compete, we win.
We took on the entire MAGA machine, won a Webby for Podcast of the Year.
The MeidasTouch podcast.
And you were with us every step of the way.
And trust us, what we're working on next is bigger, bolder, and built for 2026.
Let's keep this momentum going, spread the word, we are just getting started.
Shout out to the Midas Mighty!